Welcome and thank you for joining another Leonardo's Reef YouTube video. Today I want to share quite a few exciting updates with you, both about our Showtank and about some other big changes happening inside the coral farm. It has been a very busy year for us, so I'm really excited to share this with you and take you along for the ride. So let's jump right in. So let me start with giving you an update about our Leonardo's Lagoon Showtank. Since the last video, right after finishing the aquascape, we started adding the first corals and began shaping what I call a true coralscape. I've been working on it for a couple of months now, but I have to be honest, I'm not fully satisfied with the results yet. With this tank, I really want to recreate the feel that I had with Formosa Forest, a previous tank of mine. A layout where the corals are the true stars of the show, not the aquascape. In earlier videos I mentioned that I prefer calling it a coralscape instead of a rockscape, and that's exactly the direction I want this tank to grow into. But achieving that look takes time, a year or two at least. And looking at the tank today, I actually think I might have added too much rock. Another challenge, out of my big collection of different varieties of Acropora, I selected my favorite Acropora for this show tank, and a lot of them are in the Acropora tenuis or Bifaria variety. But as you may know, tenuis can be pretty slow growers. And to create a faster, more dynamic look, I need them to blend in with faster growing Acropora, like staghorn types, Millepora and other tabling species. And too many tenuis alone means a coralscape takes 5 or 6 years to mature, and I'd rather speed that up a little bit. So right now the coralscape is still a work in progress. Once I reach a point where I'm genuinely happy with the overall structure, I'll show you a complete A to Z journey, what I changed, why I changed it, and how it evolved into the final layout. Then let me give you a general farm update. 2026 has been a very busy year for us, and not only because we had to take care of the farm, the corals, doing maintenance and all the daily work in the farm, we've also been very busy with something else. We are expanding the entire upstairs floor of the farm. We've been in this current location now for 4.5 years, and as many of you know, the farm is split into 2 floors or 2 levels. Downstairs is where most of our operation is happening right now, which means packaging, water mixing, salt and equipment storage, but most importantly, all of our farm tanks and our lagoon show tank. Upstairs used to be our spawning lab, quarantine and mother colony space, but last year we made a big decision, and that was to completely rebuild the entire first floor, expand the amount of tanks and dedicate it fully to propagation. To start, we dismantled every tank upstairs, moved all of the mother colonies downstairs temporarily, and cleaned out the whole space. This gave us the chance to redesign everything from scratch, and most importantly, to apply everything we learned from our 4 years of running the tanks downstairs, upstairs to our new systems. So the new system layout. Upstairs will soon mirror the volume we have downstairs, about 6,000 liters divided across 2 systems. The main system will be 5,000 liters, made out of 3 rows of propagation tanks, which are 3 meters each, and 1 completely separate 3-meter observation/quarantine tank. Here they continue treatments, adapt to aquarium condition, and start showing their true potential. After that 6-month period, only if they are 100% clean, pest-free and performing well, we decide whether they will join the main system upstairs or downstairs. So this adds up roughly 3 extra months to our old quarantine protocol, but it also gives us a better coral selection process, more efficiency in how we use our farm tank space, and of course, an increased security against pests. Then some improvements in the system that we incorporated based on our lessons we learned downstairs. And the biggest lesson we learned is that detritus is the biggest long-term enemy of shallow propagation tanks. So upstairs we did a few things differently. We added more flow than downstairs, higher turnover rates between the sump and the tanks, and we incorporated roller mats in all of our systems. Roller mats weren't something I believed in originally, but after using the Deltic units downstairs for the past year, I'm a big fan now. As long as you use them as tools, not as permanent filtration. And let me explain. I never want all the water to pass through a roller mat 24/7. That will probably over-polishes the water and strips too much out. But when installed of a bypass of the overflow, you can control how much water flows through it. You can temporarily run full flow through it after a water change or something. And then afterwards, you can reduce the amount that flows through to prevent too much dripping out. This flexibility is extremely useful, and it keeps the system much more balanced and nutrients in check without overstripping it or leaving too much detritus in the system. Next to that, we installed the NIOS Quantum 300 skimmers that we also use downstairs. They're very reliable, stable performers that we really trust. And of course, all of our systems run on the Tropic Marine Pro Reef salt and the full balling A, B, and C to maintain parameters and replenish all major and trace elements. As downstairs, we're cycling the tanks using live rock, which we strongly believe in, despite its pros and cons, which we explained in a previous video. For lighting upstairs, we're mixing proven methods with some new ideas. The observation tank will use a ATI hybrid fixture, which is a combination of T5 and LED. We've had excellent results with it downstairs, and that's why we want to incorporate it upstairs, at least on one of the systems. For the main 5,000 liter system, we haven't made a final decision yet. We will definitely use our custom Spectrum LED bars that I designed over the years, but the primary fixtures are still undecided. Before wrapping up, I want to share something new I will be doing soon. We receive a lot of questions every day about parameters, coral care, system design, pests, lighting, Acropora health, you name it. Instead of answering all of these questions privately, I want to start a recurring Q&A video series. Maybe on a weekly basis, maybe monthly. It really depends on how many questions come in. But I think it will be valuable, or at least I hope it will be valuable, to share these questions and answers with the whole community. So if you have questions already, please leave them in the comments or send me a message on Instagram, WhatsApp, or Facebook, and I will use them in the first episode of the Q&A session. So that's it for today's video. In the next update, I'll show you more progress on the Showtank, including whether I removed rock or changed the aquascape. And I will share the next stages of the upstairs system as they finished cycling. If you enjoyed this video, please like, don't forget to subscribe for the coming updates, and leave your questions in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you soon.